presentation is to provide authors with background information on academic publishing and outline the important steps you need to follow to prepare your manuscript for publication. A central practice in academic publishing, the peer review process, is the concept of evaluating articles by experts in the field. It was first used in the 17th century in Philosophical Transactions, the world's first science journal, published by the Royal Society in London in 1665. It is an established process which places the reviewer at the heart of scientific publishing. The process of peer review allows the academic community to improve the quality of scholarship and to weed out poor quality, unsubstantiated and false research. Since its beginning in 1665, the peer review process has been refined, formalized, and adapted for use in almost all of scholarly publications. Peer review is now firmly at the center of scientific publishing because through peer review and the journal publishing process, a researcher's work can be not only improved and validated, but also registered, disseminated, and preserved. It is a testament to the power of peer review that a scientific hypothesis or statement presented to the world is largely ignored by the scholarly community, as without peer review, there is no quality control in scientific communication. This graph shows the number of journal titles year on year. As you can see, the peer review process continues to be a popular practice, and the number of peer-reviewed journals continues to grow. Let's look at this illustration of the publishing cycle at Elsevier and consider some staggering figures. 12.6 million articles are currently archived in our system. Depending on the journal, on average, 30 to 60% are rejected directly by one of the 13,000 editors we work with. Those articles that are not rejected up front will undergo peer review. Currently, we work with around 560,000 reviewers to evaluate these articles. Of these, around half get accepted after minor or major revision. Overall, 365,000 articles are in the end accepted by the editors each year and produced, which means typeset, posted online, linked to the various external platforms like PubMed, promoted to the appropriate audience, and of course archived for future use. 12.6 million articles are now available and have been downloaded over 700 million times by 11 million researchers across more than 120 countries. Are you ready to publish? As a good rule of thumb, you should not consider publishing yet if the work is outdated, you would be duplicating previously published work, or if your conclusions are incorrect or not acceptable. These points are good indicators that your report lacks scientific interest or does not substantially advance the field. You should consider publishing your research if you have information that advances the understanding in a specific research field. This could take the form of presenting new, original results or methods, rationalizing, refining, or reinterpreting published results, or reviewing or summarizing a particular subject or field. Remember that a strong manuscript and message is crucial in order to present your contributions to the scientific community. You have published a paper, and since doing so, have carried out further related research with new findings. Should you publish these findings? That's correct. If the findings are a significant advancement on the already published work, then you should consider submitting a paper. Although you should ensure that you avoid duplication of the existing paper. Duplicate multiple publication occurs when two or more papers, without full cross-reference, share essentially the same hypotheses, data, discussion points, and/or conclusions. This can occur in varying degrees. Literal duplication, partial but substantial duplication, or even duplication by paraphrasing. You have carried out an extensive experiment and plan to slice the findings for submission of several different papers to multiple journals. Is this acceptable practice? That's correct. This is known as salami slicing and involves breaking up or segmenting a large study into 2 or more publications. These segments are referred to as slices of a study. As a general rule, as long as the slices of a broken-up study share the same hypotheses, population, and methods, this is not acceptable practice. What makes a strong manuscript? Strong manuscripts have 3 key characteristics. First, their scientific message is clear, useful, and exciting. Second, their message is presented and constructed in a logical manner. They enable the reader to arrive at the same conclusions as the author, and the format chosen best showcases the material. Third, they enable readers, reviewers, and editors to easily grasp the significance of the research. The more effort you put into a manuscript up front, the more likely it is to be accepted. Editors, reviewers, and readers all want to receive well-presented manuscripts that fit within the aims and scope of their journal. There are various types of manuscripts that suit different purposes. Full articles are the most frequent type. These are often substantial, complete, and comprehensive pieces of research that are of significance. Letters or short communications are quick and early communications of significant, original advances. These tend to be much more brief than full articles. Review papers summarize recent developments on a specific topic, highlighting important points that have been previously reported and introducing no new information. These are often submitted after invitation by an editor. Before selecting an article type for your manuscript, you should first self-evaluate your work. Ask yourself the following questions. Is my research sufficient for a full article? Are my results so thrilling that they should be shown as soon as possible in a short communication? Your supervisor or colleagues are also good sources for advice on manuscript type. Sometimes outsiders can see the situation more clearly than you. You can investigate journals by visiting their homepage on the publisher's website. For example, Elsevier.com, using Elsevier's Journal Finder tool, and by going through the abstracts of recent publications. One consideration for selecting a journal to submit a manuscript to may be the impact factor. The impact factor tells you how many times recent papers in one journal are cited on average in a given year. It does not give an indication about citations of individual papers. The impact factor can be influenced by the editorial policies of journals and the turnover of research in a certain field. For example, more recent citations will be made in a very fast subject area like genetics. Also, review articles are generally better cited, so journals publishing only review articles tend to have higher impact factors as well. When considering where you should submit your work, the impact factor can give guidance, but should not be the sole reason to submit to a journal. Editors and reviewers do not like wasting time on poorly prepared manuscripts. This is why each journal typically has a guide for authors with specific details for the preparation of your manuscript. Apply the guide for authors to your manuscript, even to the first draft. It can help you with the text layout, reference style, nomenclature, figures and tables, and other important items. This will save your time along with the editors and reviewers. To summarize, before beginning to write your paper, determine if you are ready to publish your work by analyzing the significance of your achievements. Decide on the best type of manuscript: short communication,